Hi everyone, it's Tom here from On a Student Budget, and we're here to do a first impressions video on the Audio-Technica IM-70 earphones. So if you haven't checked out my unboxing video for these earphones, you can click the annotation above my finger right here, and I'll take you to that so you can see basically what it comes with and everything like that. So I got this earphone for about $950 in Hong Kong, which translates over to about $150 Canadian. And I actually checked on Amazon.com today, and you can actually find these earphones for about $99. And a little bit of a spoiler alert, for $99, I think that these are an absolute steal. These are just fantastic earphones, and they actually have been my favorite earphones, and I haven't really been touching any of my other gear since I got them, which was several days ago. So we're first going to talk about the cons before we talk about the pros, and because I want to kind of end the video on a good note rather than a bad. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the design. As you can see here, this is is the red color, and it only comes in this bright flashy red and no other colors. And you can see from the housing itself, it is a rather chunky, rather fat, rather bulky. Like, you can think of any other word to describe it, but it can be rather intimidating when you first look at these earphones, and that's what I thought too, and I was actually kind of worried that these might not fit me. However, Audio-Technica has done a couple of things to alleviate this issue and kind of put those issues to rest. And the first thing they did is to make the entire body of the housing rather rounded off. There are no sharp edges that's going to be ever going to be poking your ear in any sort of uncomfortable manner. And as you can see, most of the earphone is rather big, but most of this earphone does sit outside your ear, and it's really kind of like the long nozzle that's compensating for this. So this earphone does sit a little bit more deeper into your ear as a result. So that's just something. That's the first thing we're going to talk about. The second thing we're going to talk about, as you can see here, this has a memory wire here, so these earphones only work in the over ear configuration. So you kind of wrap this around your ear, and you can mold this memory wire to conform to whatever shape your ear is. And as you can see here, this is kind of like how my ear is shaped, and it's really comfortable. And this is a plus or minus depending on how you prefer to wear your earphones. But the good news is no cable noise, and these earphones remain very stable in my ear even upon movement and everything like that. And the third thing we're going to talk about is ear tips. So as you can see here on the right ear tip, this is actually the stock ear tip that comes with these earphones, this black ear tip, and it has a little bit more of a narrow bore compared to the gray ear tips that I have on the left earpiece here. So the left earpiece is a little bit wider. So I thought the stock tips were a little bit, they sealed well for me, but in terms of sound they weren't my favorite because it made the treble slightly more veiled and the bass was a little bit more muffled in comparison. And I'm using the Brainwaves S5 ear tips because they're a little bit wider, and it kind of increases, like, helps the treble extend a little bit more, and it kind of cleans up the bass a little bit more. So I do prefer it with these gray Brainwaves S5 ear tips. So after those three little bit of issues, I can definitely say that if you can overcome these three things, these earphones are gonna be a very, 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 very enjoyable listen, and I absolutely love these earphones. So these earphones are a little bit of an eye-opener for me because in terms of the sound, it really kind of changed, really made me question what kind of my preferences were in terms of sound. Because if you've been following my channel, you'll notice that I prefer sound signatures that are a little bit more neutral and maybe even a little bit brighter in terms of the treble. So there's a little bit more of a treble energy there, and this might not be to everybody's preference, but so these earphones, the IM-70s, are anything but that. They're not bright, I wouldn't say that they're neutral either, because they are a rather bassy pair of earphones. So there is a quite chunky bass response here. The bass is deep, and it extends really well down low. And then on the opposite end, the treble also has really good extension as well. It has air in the treble as well, and it's not bright in terms of the treble either. The treble is actually a lot more smoothed off than like earphones, my traditional earphones, my favorite earphones, basic and headphones, which is my VSonic GRL7 bass editions, which has a little bit more of a treble spike, and Sennheiser Amperior headphones, and those have a little bit more of a brighter treble as well. A lot of people have noted that. These IM-70s are not bright in the treble at all. It's actually quite smooth, and I think the treble here is just really well executed, and I think that this earphone worked in particularly very well for modern pop and contemporary genres, because these earphones did come from Japan, and just for kicks I did try to listen to more Japanese music, more pop music. I was listening to some Gundam soundtracks and OSTs and stuff like that, and I think that they have a little bit more of a mid-forward sound, so it really makes the vocals come to life, and it's really quite addicting to listen to. So I really do love these IM-70s, and I want to give these more of a listening time to give you guys a good full in-depth review on these guys. But so far, really love these earphones, and I haven't really been listening to any of my other gear the last few days. I don't know if I said that already. Now, I hope that first impression video helped you guys out. If it did, hit the like and subscribe button. And if you have any questions about these IM-70s, hit me up in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer up any of those questions. But stay tuned for the full in-depth review of these earphones, and because I'm very excited to listen to these earphones more myself. So until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.